What's up, Sporkman family? It's your boy Sporkman, and today we're talking about a more serious topic here in the community. And, well, not such a great topic as well, where players are now quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! We have top professional players in the community, in the competitive community, starting to quit Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is kind of a bummer and kind of speaking volumes here in the community as well. You know, we touched upon this topic a few months ago, talking about why players should be quitting and if Yu-Gi-Oh! Is dying. And now, more or less, not to say I have a crystal ball, but it's coming to fruition. We're seeing a lot of players now leave the game, and for good reason, actually. You know, we talk about the prize pool for Yu-Gi-Oh! And this game has been out for about 25 years, and how we can't figure out the prize pool is beyond me, but, you know, getting a playmat and these, like, dumb cards as your prize, I'm sorry, like, do better. Like, really do better. Like, think about some of the people here, right? You have competitive players traveling from California, from New York, from Florida, all this way to Texas to play a card game. Okay, and you would think that there's better pricing with this game being out for so long, the company making a lot of money. And don't tell me the company doesn't make a lot of money, because they definitely do. Think about what they're making. They're making a cardboard. They're making a little card to sell for 60 to however much money. Like, look at Rarity Collection, for example. I mean, that was a bust in terms of Rarity Collection too, but you had it for pre-order for 120, and they probably only cost like $10 to make a box. If we're looking at it realistically, the packs, the box itself, and the cards, it's probably very cheap to make, and they're profiting so much money, right? So, you know, obviously they're not profiting all that money, because, you know, they have to, you know, give it to the vendors, so, you know, there's in between factor there, but they're definitely profiting a lot of money. And they come up with new sets like every other month. So, you know, don't tell me that they're not profiting, that they can't support a prize pool for these players, because they can. For every YCS, for a national champion, they can definitely support. So it's bullshit to hear that they can't. And what I was saying is that, you know, these players are traveling and they spend money for airplanes, train, gas, which way they're traveling. It's a lot of money, and it's not cheap these days. Inflation is a thing, and the economy is not that great. Let's be honest here. Players are spending way more than they should to travel out to an event. They're spending way more than they should on a hotel. And we can be honest here, everybody, as well. Food, you know, if you want to go cheaper and on fast food has gone to a point where it's basically paying for regular food, so you might as well go and get good food to eat. So there's no longer fast food anymore that is cheap. It's just food. And so you have players spending a lot of money these days on a lot of different things to get to an event, and then to just win very small things to equate to what Konami believes is a great prize. No, this is terrible. This is the terrible thing that this company is doing. That, you know, yes, it's a hobby, yes, blah blah blah, you know, it's for fun, but keep in mind, like, you have people paying a lot of money to come to your event. Do your part. We're doing our part. We're coming to support your game that you're putting out, right? You're a company that's putting out something for us to play competitively. Maybe support the competitive environment, maybe support the community you're supplying the game to. Just a thought, right? You would think that's an easy thought for a company like that, but it seems to be a very difficult one for them to really get through their brain. Again, the marketing, just very, very weird these days, right? We have marketing for these tins that are going absolutely crazy. They're trying to communicate more with us, but then they don't do the other little things that would make the game better, right? So, you know, it's very weird. Konami has a very weird sense of marketing, and I think it's a terrible marketing scheme that they're doing. And I think on the other part of this we have to discuss is stop showing up to events, everybody. That is your way to speak to them. And why do I say that? You're not going to kill the game by doing that, but you will wake their you-know-what up if you do it. Because if we stop coming to their games or their events, they will realize, oh, maybe we have to do a better job here. You know, when they get record numbers and people attending an event, why would they ever change things? People are still coming to their event because it's record numbers. So stop going. Stop going. Show them that, hey, we're going to hold out until you show us better price support. Okay, so that's one way to fix it. You know, when you have record numbers, it's a little tough on them being like, yeah, let's change things, because obviously maybe they're not going to come because, you know, not great surprise, blah, blah. But you're still showing up. So they're just going to keep offering the same damn thing. So just keep that in mind. So we are doing ourselves a disservice by showing up. Now, the other part to it is that a lot of stores are closing down, so it's very hard to compete in anywhere. So the people are traveling more to events because that's the only chance to compete. So I do get that. Which we'll talk about very soon as well. But to speak volumes, you can't show up right now. If I'm being honest. And that's hard to say because it's a hobby that we all enjoy. It's a hobby we want to compete in and come first place and be a champion in. But it also is a time where we need to start speaking up for ourselves. And start showing instead of just talking about it. Right? You have to walk the walk as well. Besides just talking about it. Because if you're still showing up and you're complaining, but you're showing up. You're still showing support. Maybe stop showing support. Maybe that'll speak volumes to them, right? So there's that portion of it, right? The prize pool. Then you have the actual game aspect, where the game has just gone to absolute crap, in my opinion. You have a lot of new cards coming out that are power creeping itself absolutely insane. You have this deck doing well, that deck doing well, this deck doing well, that deck, and it's just like every so months you have a new deck competing to do better than the next one. You're not giving yourself a break, and people are not giving themselves a chance to really save money. They keep spending money, and yes, I get it. The whole company have to spend money to play, blah blah. I get it, but why should a deck be irrelevant because a new powerful deck is coming in? Shouldn't the other powerful decks still be able to be competitive? No, not to Konami, not to this game. So then you have that aspect, where you have a deck that's only come out a year ago that was expensive, that was doing well, is no longer competitive a year from now. So make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to me, because it doesn't. It really doesn't. And then you have very broken cards in the game, and cards that are coming out that just seem absolutely insane to me. We talk about Multi Parelia being one of them. A lot of players said that, a lot of people here saying, which was crazy to me, it's not gonna be good, it's not that great, it's not like Max C. Listen, it could be a lower tier Max C, but it's still a damn good Max C type of card. So it'll still do well holding out in the market as well. So it was very weird to hear that, but you're seeing the advantage now of having that card in your deck. So obviously there's cards that are right now that aren't the best for the game, but they're putting it out and players are suffering because of it. The ban list, yes, they're communicated that a ban list is happening in August, but they don't fix stuff on the ban list that needs to be fixed really properly. They give us half what ban lists. And the reason why I don't say bad words on this channel, everybody, is because I am a teacher and I have some of my students that tend to watch my channel sometimes, so I just want to be careful what I'm saying for those that are wondering. But it's just a terrible aspect if you're a competitive player. All around. The game, 25 years in, you would think, okay, we're 25 years in, we understand how to, do a better job, creating the game, giving prize pool. Like, you would think 25 years of learning on how to do this, they can do a good job. It's like, let's just go backwards. So, until they fix a lot of things, players are going to start quitting. And I love it that we have a public person here really saying their opinion, and we have a lot of people now causing a domino effect for it to happen, and players actually saying, yes, we're actually done. We're going to take a little break. We're going to go play a little Counter. We're going to go play One Piece. We're going to play Star Wars Unlimited. Because guess what? Those games are, I'm not going to lie to you, they're pretty fun. Prizes are better. Prizes are much better. And the game is just bringing a new vibrance into the whole TCG experience. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of on the, don't want to say dying or leaving the the TCG era here that we have, because it definitely is in the top 3 in TCGs, but it's kind of fading out for a lot of people that realizing, hey, your game needs to be fixed if you want people to keep playing. Just being honest. Not to say that I'm quitting, because I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm never going to quit. This game just has a good thing on my heart. But things do need to be changed, because then you lose a lot of your fan base. You lose a lot of your base in general. And it does hurt the game. It does hurt the game. So, this is one aspect. We talk about the prize pool just being completely terrible. I mean, it is. I mean, you're telling me this is what we're giving as prize pool? I saw, who was it? Pac. I saw Pac make a video, and I thought it was hilarious. He had like 8 Nintendo Switches in his hands. He's like, who wants a Nintendo Switch? You want one? You want one? Everybody gets one. That was funny. But yeah, why are we giving away a Nintendo Switch? This thing, by the way, is like 8 years old. Like, it is so old at this point. No one wants a Nintendo Switch. Why don't you give away like a PC or something at this point? I mean, like, that would make more sense. Yeah, not Nintendo Switch at least. But wow, I don't know. This is insane to me that this is what they think is considered a good pricing. And then I want to talk about the greed. Right, we have players quitting because they're realizing, wow, this company is greedy. Yes. Look at the type of stuff they're bringing out. Look at the type of the products they're bringing out. This is absolute greediness from a company. We've talked about it months now about this company being greedy. $1,300 for this, right? $500 for this. Completely disgusting, terrible product in the pot collection. I mean, I would never buy that. You get a little small little pot and you think it's worth... How much were they selling this for? Let me just check this. How much were they selling this for? Okay, yeah, I would never spend $160 on that. I'm sorry. How much was this again? $1,000. And they wonder why we have a problem with this game, why players are leaving. Because they're focusing on other things than actually fixing the game. They're focusing on making a very cheap product expensive. They want to put a sticker on it. Here's a collectible item. It's not. This is not collectible. By any sense of the imagination. These stainless steel, platinum, whatever you want to call it, they're garbage. They're absolute garbage. If you bought one, congrats to you. That's your opinion. You wanted it. Congrats. I just think it's a waste of money. It's an absolute waste of money. You couldn't convince me otherwise. I'm sorry. If you, in the comment section, try to convince me this is worth your money, don't even. Like, don't even. That is a waste of breath in a comment for me. This is not worth your money at all. And I think anybody who has a sense of money and responsibility of money can tell you this is a waste of money. There's other things in Yu-Gi-Oh! That are worth buying than this crap. And this was a whole greediness and manipulating of the fan base of trying to do something like this. When I talk about being spit in the face, Konami spit in our face with that. They said, I'll spin your face because I know you'll spend it. Because we don't care about you. We know you'll spend it, right? But we spoke up. I know a lot of people did speak up about this, which was great. Which lowered the price of this stupid crap. Because let's be honest, this is still crap. It's a lower price. Congratulations on fixing the price that you should have fixed to begin with. It's still crappiness. Let's just be honest. Then you have another marketing thing that they're doing. I think most people didn't realize this. The Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2024 is a closed event, only live stream. Who the hell came up with that? Why would you close off an event here in North America, in all places where people would have flooded? You wanted to sell tickets maybe for like $10, $20? I'm sure people would have still bought it to attend. I would have attended. I would have flew out. I don't care if I'm a teacher and that week I'm starting. I would have gone. Would have been fun. Are you serious? Why is it a closed event? Guess what? You just lost out on a huge marketing opportunity. Because you think a lot of people are going to attend that live stream? No, they're not. No, they're not. You would have had more people attending the event, more people watching if that was the case. But you closed the event off. Who's ever on the marketing side of Konami, I really hope you're fired. Chief Marketing Officer, you should be gone. I'm telling you. Every single person in that marketing department, I wish for your firing. And I'm sorry, I don't wish upon negatively upon people, but this is crazy to me. The amount of dominoes I'm seeing in this game that looks terrible is because of the marketing department for the most part. And I will say it's mostly because of the company in general. But your marketing department is supposed to help you curve the enthusiasm of the game. To bring fans together, to bring them to cheer, to have fun of this hobby. You're closing off an event? Like a world championship? Make it make sense, everybody. Make it make sense. Holy moly. Then you had a successful product in the structure decks. You were coming out with structure decks. They were successful. They were selling. They were popping. People were into it. And what do? We are in August. And you haven't come out with a structure deck after people going crazy for structure decks the past year? Holy moly. Let's just keep failing. Let's just go away from what was working in Yu-Gi-Oh, huh? That'll make it work. That will save Yu-Gi-Oh for sure. Let's just go away from everything that was working in Yu-Gi-Oh. And then reprintable stuff. Oh man, I love it when people say, "Oh, I gotta open nostalgic stuff." Really? Are you really open nostalgic stuff? Because it's newer cardboard. It's newer stock of that. I don't know. I listen. If you're gonna give me something old, give me it properly. But besides the point, even if you were to give me it properly with this, with the old card tax, with the old card look and feel and everything like that, I would never buy it. These packs, these sets remain in the past. Have respect for your collectible market. Have respect for your old players. You think the old players want this? They don't. Maybe a few. I'm sure I'll have some people in my comments saying, "I want this, I want to open it." What are you talking about, Sparkman? No, no. People really don't need stuff like this to be opened. The whole point of nostalgic era, the nostalgia of opening stuff in the past and Yu-Gi-Oh! And sets like that, the reason why we like watching Ruxin open packs in his videos, Cyber Knight, to name a few, because we have a nostalgic hit watching them open those older packs. If they're readily available, it's not the same feel. It's not the same way. It will suck when you do when you reprint an older box. How about this? I've mentioned it a couple of times. You want us to relive our childhood? Okay. Yes, give us the same cardboard back in the day. Give us the same feel, look, and everything. But make a new set and call it don't call it retro pack, but call it live in the past set. I don't know whatever name you want to call it. I'm not good at naming things, but whatever set you want to call it, name it a new set. Give us a bunch of different cards from the old generation, and we'll open it. But don't give us the exact same set of something that was in the past. To me, that's just disrespectful. Especially to the collector market. People that have been 10 years old, opened these cards, kept it in the collection because they thought, wow, this is so collectible, this is so cool. And then you reprint the box 20 plus years later? And then you wonder why people get upset at your company. The tins used to work. Why don't they work? Because you changed the format. 124 for a case of tins. 127 for a case of tins for 2021, 2022. 124 for the tins from last year. Doesn't work. Why are a lot of stores closing down? Why are a lot of stores not buying Yu-Gi-Oh, not selling Yu-Gi-Oh? Because you have really terrible products in the tins, in these boxes, in this box. You have a lot of products that don't succeed very well, and then you wonder why people are flooding to your YCS event and stuff because they have nowhere else to play. That's probably why you're seeing record numbers. Unfortunately, I wish they weren't attending, but they are because they have nowhere else to play. But yeah, people are leaving the game because things are terrible in all fronts. Yes, some of the newer boxes, yes, these are older boxes from last year, but keep in mind, this is just last year. Newer boxes are doing fairly okay now, But there have been a lot of stores that closed because of this situation of Duelist Nexus, of the Tins, of Legendary Duelist Soul Burning Volcano. It's been a lot of situations. Here's the other issue. Why did you make a rarity so closely similar to Starlight Rares? We have Starlight Rares doing absolutely terrible now because of making a rarity so closely that look the same as Starlight Rares. Why couldn't you just make a different rarity to appeal to the audience instead of dividing this audience in half? People liking it and then people saying, why would you do that to the people that were collecting stuff in that rarity? So you had that point and that point. You had two people. Never divide your fan base. Never do that. Never come out with a product and be like, well, 50% of the people will like it and 50% won't. No. That should never be 50-50. Your whole, as a company, your process should be like, well, I hope 100% of people like this. That's my hope. And realistically, probably 80% of people will like it, 20% may not like it. But if you're going with the mindset, well, 50% will like it and 50% won't like it, and continue that mindset, you expect players not to leave the game of Yu-Gi-Oh? Confused? Like, are you confused? Don't be confused. You're doing it to yourself. All you had to do was make a different rarity. But you didn't. Very shocking to me that this company is still around because of all this. I'm not saying it will die. I'm not wishing bad because obviously I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. I want the game to succeed. I want it to do well. But we have to call it out as we see it. The only way to do it is to make these types of videos. And the only way to do it is actually not to attend those events. We have to be honest with our community. We have to be honest about what's going on here. There's a lot of different problems in the community of Yu-Gi-Oh! There's not a lot of different reasons as to why the game is dying. It's not just one reason. It's not just because the competitive format or the prize pool is bad. There's other trickling factors here that's making the game absolutely terrible. Right? I named a bunch of points here. And I'm sure I didn't even touch upon a lot of different other things as well. When you do half things, don't expect your fan base to be okay with it. A fan base that's been around with you for a long time. We'll see if Konami changes their ways next year, 2025, because I hope they do and I hope they're listening. But you are losing a lot of people and pretty fast at that. And you want to know also why that's happening? Because there's other TCGs coming out and they're giving better support and they're doing a better job. Because they're realizing, hey, your mistake is our prosper. We see what you're doing wrong. We're not going to do it. So maybe start correcting your mistakes, Konami. Because trust me, all of your base is going to be playing a different game very soon. It's happening. I have some of my best friends. We're playing Star Wars Unlimited. We're playing One Piece. The pricing is so much better. Star Wars Unlimited came out like 3 months ago. 4 or 5 months ago, maybe. How are they doing better? And pricing. How are they stealing a lot of your players? How is One Piece stealing a lot of your players? Fix your game. Otherwise, your game will die. It's a slow burn, but it will happen. I want to hear your opinion in the comment section down below. I know I'm saying a lot of very controversial things to a lot of people. People will disagree, people will agree. But there's a lot of things wrong with this game that needs to be fixed, and that's the way I see it. Right? It's a very opinionated video, but it's the way I see it at least. But like I said, let me hear what you have to say in the comments down below. We'll communicate. I'm sure there'll be very toxic comments down below as well, because like I said, that's just how it sometimes is in the comment section. But I accept it. It doesn't get to me because it's my opinion and I respect your opinion and I hope you respect mine. But from yours truly, Sparkman, we'll catch you next one. Please subscribe, like, comment, and Peace out, YouTube.